Hello, everyone. Happy June. It's Tina and Jeremy with your energy update.
Yay.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
Great. We've got some new people that are joining us these days. And so I thought I'd give a little
Cool.
bit of a background or context to what we're sharing here. So we're coming initially at this from a Chinese astrology feng shui kind of perspective, and then Jeremy has this great gift of being able to talk to us about Western astrology as well. On the Chinese astrology side, the energy that we're talking about is what's changing this month. And we usually say what day it's going to change because it's not always the same day. Like in our Western world, it's always the first of the month is the first of the month. And that's not the way it is in the Chinese world. So there's an animal and there's an element that rules that period of time, that month. So that's what we're talking about here. And we break it down in a way that it's really, we can visualize, we can, we have our own personal experiences with these elements. Some of us know what these elements and animals are in our chart, and that helps us understand this energy. So the energy that we're coming into for June here is a yang earth horse. Now, there's a couple different ways to look at that. The horse is always in June. Okay, whenever June starts, that's always going to be a horse month. But that yang earth changes. It's on a 60-month rotation. So we won't see yang earth horse again for 60 more months. So for 5 years, right? That's a long time. We're going to have this month show up for us. The other thing too is the horse has a master element to it, right? So each animal has its master element. So what we're going to talk about here are those three things: the element of the month, the animal, and then some of what the animal's master element is, meaning it's what makes up the animal. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
No, that's so good. You just described everything beautifully.
Thanks. I try. So this is young earth fire or young earth horse, and the reason I threw in fire there is because horse's master element is fire.
Yes. Yes.
Like think of a
And
horse, right? And think of fire. They're
mhm,
kind of the same.
yeah,
Unpredictable.
do what they want to do.
Yep. They don't want boundaries.
You don't know what it's going to do next. They get spooked.
Yeah. They get spooked and then they take off and then they've got to backtrack. So the horses can be reactive, like fire. Think about when you throw, like, you're camping and you throw your soda can, right? The fire spits and it sparks and it flares up. It gets pissed off. So there's
Yeah.
temper energy. There's temperamental energy, uncertainty, unpredictability, free-spirited energy. Now, a lot of the stuff we're talking about here is kind of a lower vibration. What are some of the higher vibrations of horse fire energy?
Well, it's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
It's excitement. It's adventure. It's venturing out into paths that you've never taken. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and in the Northern Hemisphere, we're celebrating summer. So,
Mm.
we're it's time to get outside again. The last 2 months have been pretty fiery, though. We've had a lot of fire element right at the beginning of this year, and the fire element's going to continue with that horse energy. But
Mhm.
luckily, the month element is earth, yang earth, which is
Mhm.
mountain energy. So it's a little bit more grounded. But of
Mhm.
course, fire energy feeds earth energy, so it supports earth. So we're going to start to see the year kind of slow down a little bit with that earth grounding
I sure
element.
hope so. Because it's just like, everywhere I turn, it's just kind of that energy. And so it's the horse to me is also about joy. Fire energy is about joy. It is
Yeah.
anxiety as well. But being able to like be cut loose, or when the gates open on the horse track, right? And, isn't that interesting? All the horses. Did you hear about that?
No.
Oh, I think it was the Kentucky Derby. I think in 1 week, 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 horses died.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and that was just last week. So, might be worth taking, contemplating because, right, it's that fire energy that's so intense in us in the world right now.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think this young earth energy, which to me, I always see mountains when I hear young earth, it's a
Yeah.
slower energy. Like
Yeah.
mountains aren't running around and freaking out about stuff. They're just sitting there going, chill out, people.
Yeah.
Been here
Yeah.
before. We're going to make it through. So
Hmm.
hopefully it will slow down a little bit. Although I think of a horse that's sitting behind the gate, just waiting for the gate to open.
Yep.
Because that horse, I'm a horse, is
Yeah.
impatient,
Yeah.
gets bored. It's like, come
It
on,
wants to
we
go.
were on this quick energy. Now, why are we not going anymore?
Yeah. So it could be it could show up a multitude of ways, but maybe that young earth is what we need to kind of calm down the fires that we've been feeling for the last couple of months, especially in Utah. How we're noticing it is with all of the flooding going on, all of the snow is melting so quickly, and there's tons and tons of water flooding northern Utah.
Yeah.
Um, the other thing about that is, like you just said, the horse really gets impatient when it wants to go. But if there's a roadblock in front of it, the other thing that can happen with young earth is really stubborn energy.
Hmm.
So we might find a little bit of stubbornness in our relationships over the next month. So we've got to watch that. We've got to be really, really careful. We've got to allow each other the freedom, right?
Hmm.
It can't always be our way. And with a horse, you want it to run free.
Yeah. Yeah.
So trying to control the horse this month is not going to be to anyone's best interest.
I couldn't agree more.
Don't do it. Don't do it. And if you have a rat in your chart, anywhere in your chart,
Mm-hmm.
you've got to beware a little bit because the rat is opposite the horse, right?
Hmm.
They form what's called a clash in Chinese astrology. So that clash, that rat can spook the horse, you know,
Hmm.
and you know, they have that opposition there.
Yeah.
So for those that have a rat in their chart, just be careful this month.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought up that clash because the rat's master element is water energy. And that's one reason they clash is this fire water dynamic.
Yeah.
Rat likes to kind of keep things to themselves and the horse wants everything out in the open. So where the,
Yeah.
the rat can spook the horse can also kick the rat out of the barn and say, quit hiding, get out there, go get
Yeah.
seen, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. It doesn't feel as volatile, as some of these recent past months. I'm
Yeah.
still concerned about all the fire energy,
Me
because we're
too.
in this period 9 cycle. It's a fire animal, plus we're heading into summer months in the northern
Mm,
hemisphere. So just the
yeah.
heat, and even you're talking about the flooding. Doug and I
Yeah.
got up into the kind of the mountains a little bit over the weekend, and it's just like this is a lot of fuel for fire, and we're prone to having some
That's
serious
exactly
fire
what me
season.
and Toshi were talking about this weekend.
Yeah, so
The water is feeding the wood, right? It's
mhm,
feeding all of the wildlife, right? So I'm glad that August and September the fire is lessening a little bit.
mhm,
We're seeing a little bit less of that fire element, but
yeah,
it's still pretty unpredictable. This is a pretty unpredictable year. It's
yeah,
it's kind of interesting with yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the horse shows up in all of our lives.
mhm, for sure. So maybe you don't have a horse in your chart, maybe you don't have a rat in your chart, but the horse overall can highlight where we're needing to break ties or set ourselves free or to be more adventurous. The frontiersman, that kind of pioneering energy is horse. It's like, a horse is like, oh, I'm going to try a different path. I'm going to take a different route home. So be a little bit more open to exploring, rather, because a horse, when it's not like the oxen energy that likes to buckle down and get the hard work done. The horse is like, if it's too mundane and too the same, like
Gets
really,
bored.
they get super bored, and then they're going to, cause problems. So,
Yeah.
so be open. And, if you're driving home from work or you're driving home from someplace, take a different route home. Take a back road, see different scenery, drive through a neighborhood you haven't been in, that's popped up in the last couple of years. Just be a little bit more open, and a little bit more independent. I think that's
Yeah.
one of the big things the horse can gift us is independence.
I love that.
So on the
I love
Western
that.
front,
It could be a really fun start to the summer if we let it be.
yeah, I mean, just think, 'cause school's out, kids are
Yeah.
like free.
Yeah.
I can run, I can go do sports, I can go swimming. So
Hmm.
yeah, be a kid. Maybe we need to do more of that stuff too.
Absolutely. I love that.
So what do you want to share on the Western front?
Well, there's some pretty interesting energies going on in the Western world. One of the big ones is Venus, the goddess of love and relationships. She's the one that really, really puts a spotlight on how we do our relationships and relationships as a whole, as a collective.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going from the watery sign of Cancer into the fiery sign of Leo. So
Mm-hmm.
again, there's that horse energy, that fire energy. And Leos love attention. So when Venus goes into the sign of Leo, she wants attention. She wants romance. Those that have Venus in Leo in their charts, they love to watch romantic comedies and see the music swell at the end and cry and watch them kiss at the end. Like they love that. They love it. So there's probably going to be a lot of love in the air this summer as well. But Leo can get a little bit persnickety. She wants attention and she wants it now. It's queen archetype energy.
Hmm.
So remember that, again, trying to control the horse this year or this month is not going to be to anyone's benefit. Let everyone be free to adventure and go out. Maybe have a summer romance if you're into it this month. The new moon in Gemini on June 17th is going to be a really interesting one. New moons are about beginning,
Mm-hmm.
starting a new cycle. The energy's a little bit difficult on that day. So rather than starting any projects or, beginning anything, wait a couple of days until the difficult energy's gone. Gemini is about communication and mindset. So it's about creating a new mindset starting around June 17th. It's also really good for social media. Start a new
Mm.
social media plan if you're wanting to advertise yourself, or reach out to someone that you haven't reached out to in a while.
I like
Think
that.
about having the difficult conversation that you've been needing to have for years, but then have been kind of withdrawing from. So this is going to be a good month to start that energy and get it going in a good direction.
Wow. That's incredible. People are flashing in my mind as you're saying that. It's like, oh, not many, just you. I'm going to give you a call. Hey, Jeremy, we need to have that talk.
Okay, the image that I saw when you were bringing up the rat and the horse was totally you and me.
Oh,
Like
yeah, that's right.
you're the horse and I'm the rat, and you're always trying to kick me out into the spotlight a little bit. And I'm like, oh, one just
Perfect.
really just jumped out. Ooh, I love this. It's the three of earth. It's the power
Mm.
of creativity. It's recognition for very high quality work, being a team player. So this, like I said, this has the potential to be a really fun summer if we allow it to be.
Hmm. Yeah, I love that team player stuff too, because it speaks to that horse, which is that herd animal.
Yeah,
Oh, I love that. So maybe we just need to frolic and play in the fields like the ponies.
I love it. It sounds fun.
Yeah, it
Like I
does.
said, it is lighter energy than all of the months leading up to this.
Mm,
So I hope we can
yes.
really, really jump on the horse and feel a little bit free.
Yeah. And look for those things to help us
Mhm.
levitate and lighten things up a bit. And maybe we need to go climb mountains and hike and get back out into
And
nature.
get outside. Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you for your insights. No, you have a
Thank you.
class. When's your class in June? Your astrology class. What is that topic?
We will add that to the comments. I forgot to look at my calendar before we started filming this,
Okay.
so we will pop that in the comments. But I do have the next class that I have coming up. I think it's the second week in June. It's about Mars, the planet of our desires.
Mm,
What is it that you desire? How can you connect that in your birth chart? How
dang.
can you really connect to the energy and really capitalize on it? So it's
Oh,
going to
I'm
be a
going to
fun
be there for
class.
that one for sure.
It's going to be
Thank
good.
you so much. Have a
Thank
happy
you.
June.
Okay. Bye.